Hey guys, today I'm gonna show you how to do an oil change on a '03 Element. This will work on all the years of the Element. There was only one generation, so it should be the same. Yeah, hope this helps somebody. First step is to jack up your car. I'll show you where I like to put it at. I like to put it on most people would say put it on the pinch weld, but I don't want to damage it or risk it caving in my floor. So I want to put it on the frame rail right here. That should be a little bit stronger. It's there. I don't know if you can see. It's on the frame rail of the car. In my opinion, that's a little bit stronger. You can't really bend that. If you do, then your car isn't roadworthy anyways. So yeah, let me just finish jacking it up. And always try, if possible, to use jack stands. Just so it could be a little safer to get under there. I mean, I trust my jack, but why risk it, I guess. So yeah, now it's time to start the oil change. All right, first, I like to take off the filler cap and pull up the dipstick a little bit, enough to where it could get some air going through it, and that would help you drain the oil quicker. I also recommend if you could warm up the car a little bit, maybe not get it super hot to run into operating temperature, but let it run for like a good 3-4 minutes idling, so it could get some heat into the engine and the oil will be easier to drain out. It'll be much faster. It might burn you a little bit, but nothing you can't handle, I guess. Okay, now that you took off the caps, get under the car, make sure you have a container to catch the oil, and the oil plug is a size 17. Just take it off. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. I'm using my electric ratchet just to make it easier, but obviously you can just do it with the old-fashioned ratchet or wrench. There you go. All right, guys. Once your oil starts dripping, should be all of it for the most part. Clean your little bolt and then thread it back in by hand, just to make sure you don't cross thread it, because then you have to change your oil pan. That's more of a headache. And then tighten it down with your ratchet. Not too crazy, just enough to know it's snug. There it is. Now to the oil filter. All right, guys, the oil filter on this car is in the back of the engine on the passenger side, midway down from top of the engine to the bottom of the engine, so it's halfway down. You could probably get it from the top if you're tall with long hands, or have a ladder or something to reach in there if you're not that tall, but it's not the case with me. Kind of short, so you can also try to get it from the bottom. Same way we got the oil plug. It's somewhere around right there on top, but that's kind of hard. You're probably gonna be there struggling for a good 30 minutes trying to take off the filter with no real way to get your hands in there. So what I like to do is take off my tire. It's easier. It takes 5 seconds to take off a tire. If you have a impact gun, if not, it'll take you like a minute or two, and another 2 minutes to take off the filter with your filter removal tool thing, wrench. I don't know what it's called, but I'll show it to you right now. Anyways, if you don't have an impact, you can use a cross or your OEM factory L wrench that they give you to take off the lug nuts. I mean, that's self-explanatory. I'm sure everybody knows how to take off the lug nuts, hopefully. So yeah, if you're gonna use a socket and impact, I know it's a chrome socket, you're not supposed to use them on impacts, but oh well, they're cheap. It's a 19 for, it should be a 19 for all 5 if we have original lug nuts, but I lost one and over the years. So I bought a AutoZone replacement, and it turned out to be a 13/16 size instead of a 19mm. So yeah, that's what I have. Oh yeah, here it is. That's why I have 2 sockets to take off 1 tire. But anyways, I'm gonna get to it. Enough talking. Now the last one. Oh yeah, obviously make sure your tire is in the air. And if you're doing it by hand with a cross, make sure you loosen the lug nuts before you lift the car. If you're doing it by hand, because if not, it will be hard unless you have somebody to press the brake for you. Okay, the last one. There it is. Comes off, easy as that. I live in Texas, so we don't have rust issues or anything like that. So if you're up north or somewhere where there's salt on the road, that tire might be stuck on there, so you might need a kick or two to get it off, but thankfully we don't get that. All right, guys, we got the tire off. I'm gonna show you where the oil filter's at. I guess you get a point of reference. I'm obviously in the passenger side, front tire. You go in through the brakes. You go under the strut through the CV axle, which is this one. And let me turn on the light. And there you go. It's right there, that orange thing. And yeah, it's a cheap filter. Oh well, that's all I have around me. So if you're using Fram, you can use something else. So yeah, it's right there on top of the CV axle. As you can tell, that's the oil pan right there. That stuff that has all that goo stuff coming out, which I am replacing the gasket because I did that a couple years ago thinking it would help me with the oil leak, and it didn't. So yeah, that was a big no-no on my part, I guess. But yeah, the oil filter's right there. See, it's easier. I'll show you right now what I'm gonna use to take it off with to make your life easier. All right, this is the tool I use. I found it to be the easiest one to use, I guess. There are a couple styles and like big sockets that you can put over the filter, but that's hit or miss because you gotta know your size of the filter, which who knows that. So yeah, this is about, I would say, $8 at Walmart or Harbor Freight if you go with the cheap stuff. Like, you can also get the fancy ones on Amazon, but they're way more expensive, about $20–30 for your name brand. But this one does the job. And right now I'll show you how it works, because it does look kind of weird. All right, guys, I'm gonna give you an idea how to use it. I'm gonna need both hands, so probably won't be able to show you how I'm taking it off, but I'm gonna give you an idea how it works. So it's basically just big pliers that you could adjust depending on your oil filter, and all you do is just basically pinch your filter, push some pressure on the pliers to grip it as hard as you can, and then just twist to the right. Remember, lefty loosey, righty tighty. If not, you're gonna have a bad day. But yeah, let me do this with 2 hands. I mean, I wish I could have showed you, but it's kind of a tight spot. Hope you get the idea. All right, guys, I got a little loose. I can show you how I'm doing it. Just grab, obviously self-explanatory, they're pliers. Just open them, put them over the filter, pinch it, and move it. See how easy it is? And yeah, it's covered in oil because I have a massive oil leaks, which I took care of most of them. I just need the oil pan, which I'll probably try to make a video of it. It's a little bit harder job, but nothing anybody could do. So yeah, the filter, take off the filter like so. And once it's loose, you don't need this anymore. You can do it by hand. Let's see if I can show y'all. There you go. Take it all by hand. Okay, hope y'all get the idea. Oil is gonna drip. The remaining oil is gonna drip a little bit. Might make a mess if your car's clean. You clean it off real quick with the rag and brake cleaner if you have. So if not, just a rag will be fine. Mine doesn't matter because, like I said, there's an oil leak, so look at all that nastiness. But yeah, I'm gonna let it drain. Take it off, and all right, guys. Once you take off the other filter, this is the new one. It's the exact same one for mine. It's the Fram PH7317 filter. It's not the best quality. People say they suck, but I mean, for a daily car that doesn't do much other than drive to work and back, it should be fine. It's not a high performance engine or anything like that. So yeah, you don't have no rods or piston shavings or anything like that, so it should be good. Anyways, talking out my ass. You grab it, same thing. Gotta put it up there, screw it in. Let me see if I can show you. Now I'm gonna have to do it by hand off camera. Hold on. Let me see if I can get you on a good spot without blocking me or the light. It is kind of dark in my garage. Let me see. I'm gonna use the camera as my eyes, I guess you could say. There it is. I just gotta screw it until you feel it catch the thread. There it is. You'll know when it catches thread. It'll go in basically by itself as you spin it. There you go. Now you tighten it snug, and then I like doing a full turn after that. But that I need 2 hands because you still need to use a bit of force, and it's a kind of awkward position. So yeah, I hope you get the idea. All right, got it snugged up. As you can see, it's clean. It's the new one. Let me see if the light won't blind you. It's the new one. There's the old one on the filter. On the oil catch thing. So yeah, now we just gotta fill up the oil. All right, guys. The last step is to put on your tire back on so you can lower it, and then fill up your engine with the oil. So yeah, just put the tire back on the studs. Make sure to thread in your lug nuts by hand. See, they're all loose still, just to make sure that they're on there. If you're using an impact, make sure you thread them on hand, and then you can use the impact. If not, there's a chance you can strip by one of your studs. If you're doing them by hand, then there's no real issue. But yeah, just tighten them down. And then the last one's different size. I'm gonna tighten that real quick, and yeah, I'll show you right now pouring in the oil. All right, guys, the last step is to fill in the oil. I believe it takes 4.1 or 4.5 quarts of oil, but since my car is pretty old, high mileage, it burns a little bit of oil. I'm just gonna put the full 5 quarts just to give me an extra month or so of not having to fill it up. But it's always good to check your oil every week if you remember. But yeah, I'm gonna fill it up. And I might need 2 hands because this is really flimsy. Let me see if I could prop y'all up. I doubt it. Let me see. Yeah, works perfect. Okay, so just hold it. I like using the funnel. You could try to aim, but I'm not that good. I always make a mess, so. Like I said, I'm gonna put all 5. I'm not gonna wait for every last drop since I'm technically overfilling it. So as soon as it goes off the main stream, I'm done. And there you go. I always like to put the cap back on because I refill these with the old oil so I can return it to the recycling, to the oil recycler. And yeah, just take this out. Let me see where I left the cap at. Oh, it's right here. And there you go. I just put your cap back on. Make sure it's tight, because if you have crank pressure, it might blow it up if you don't tighten it all the way. I'm gonna give it a couple, probably like 10 minutes for it to settle down, for all the oil to drop down, and then I'm gonna check the level. So yeah, I'll show you right now what the level's at. All right, guys, the last step is to fill in the oil. I believe it takes 4.1 or 4.5 quarts of oil, but since my car is pretty old, high mileage, it burns a little bit of oil. I'm just gonna put the full 5 quarts just to give me an extra month or so of not having to fill it up. But it's always good to check your oil every week if you remember. But yeah, I'm gonna fill it up. And I might need 2 hands because this is really flimsy. Let me see if I could prop y'all up. I doubt it. Let me see. yeah, works perfect. Okay, so just hold it. I like using the funnel. You could try to aim, but I'm not that good. I always make a mess, so. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna put all 5. I'm not gonna wait for the every last drop since I'm technically overfilling it. So as soon as it goes off the main stream, I'm done. And there you go. I always like to put the cap back on because I refill these with the old oil so I can return it to the recycling, to the oil recycler. And yeah, just take this out. Let me see where I left the cap at. Oh, it's right here. And there you go. I just put your cap back on, make sure it's tight, because if you have crank pressure, it might blow it up if you don't tighten it all the way. I'm gonna give it a couple, probably like 10 minutes for it to settle down, for all the oil to drop down, and then I'm gonna check the level. So yeah, I'll show you right now what the level's at. Alright guys, it's been about 10 minutes. I'm gonna check the oil level, see if it's in a good spot. Yeah, the first time I take out the dipstick, I never look at it just because it could be a false reading, if that makes sense. Like if the car's been running, there's oil on top, so it'll be stuck all the way up here, and that won't tell you it's a true level. But the second one I will check. You always want to keep the dipstick facing down, never flip it, because then the oil will run up and you wouldn't know your actual level. I don't know if you could see, it won't focus. Well, I guess you gotta trust me. The oil level's about 1/8 of an inch higher than the second dot, which is perfect for this engine. So yeah. Alright guys, we're done. Hope this helps somebody. There are some clips that are spliced in from, because I'm doing 2 videos in one. I needed to change the oil pan gasket, and in the process I needed to change the oil because I would have to drain out all of the oil. So I figured kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I did how to do an oil change on your element, and also the oil pan gasket. But I mean, I hope it makes sense in their own videos. Anyways, everything's done. The only thing I'm not gonna put back yet is that splash shield thing that goes on the bottom of your car. That one that would go right here. This is the first one we took off. I'm gonna leave it off just so I can see if there's any more oil leaks, because it'll just make it harder if I put it on. So yeah, just don't forget to put that on. I didn't show it, but other than that, it should be done. I hope, like I said, I hope this helps somebody. Either to change your oil or to change your oil pan gasket. If you liked it, somehow it's not confusing and boring, please like and subscribe. I am new. Not trying to get huge, but at least get some motivation seeing the numbers go up a little bit. So yeah, have a nice day, and thanks for watching.